What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be predicting the final NBA season by predicting all the awards and the major events. So that includes the MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year award, the Rookie of the Year award, who I think is going to win the NBA championship, and I'll also give my finals matchup too, just for a nice video idea. So it's not predicting every game, but I'm going to predict the awards and the finals. So yeah, I'm going to be seeing if I can get it right, and let's get into it. So first off, we will start off who I think will win the MVP. Now, it's pretty much clear it is between two guys, that obviously being SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the other favourite as well, Nikola Jokic, who was last year's MVP. Now, you could make an argument that Giannis Antetokounmpo could be in this conversation. However, I just feel like it is up to these two guys. They've been averaging more, and Giannis has been falling off lately a bit. So I definitely think it is between these two. Now, as for Nikola Jokic, he's been averaging 29.8 points per game, which is third in the NBA, 12.6 rebounds, which is fourth in the NBA. He's also been averaging 10.2 assists, which is second. So, yeah, look, we could just base this off of stats, but those are some pretty good stats for Nikola Jokic. I'm not going to lie. He's averaging a 30-point triple-double almost. About a week ago he was. But no, he's certainly going well at the moment. Now on to Shai. So Shai's been averaging 32 points per game, which is the most in the NBA. He's been averaging 5.1 rebounds and 6 assists a game. So he isn't as strong in the rebound as assist department as Jokic is, but he's obviously probably still a better offensive player than Nikola Jokic. You know, I think he's had 3 50-point games this season. Not carrying the Thunder, but he's doing quite a good job without Chet Holmgren there, along with Isaiah Joe, Williams, Dort. You know, those guys have been really helping him out. That's why they've been a really good team, and they currently have the best record in the NBA, sitting at 44-9. So yeah, look, the Thunder and SGA definitely could win the MVP. But I am going to go Nikola Jokic to win the MVP. I just think that obviously he's won it now like 3 or 4 times, but I think he could bring it home again. I know he won it last season, and it would be boring to see him win it again, but I just think those numbers are insane, and he really should be winning the MVP. Look, I definitely think next year for Shai, because I do think Jokic probably will slow down maybe a bit over the next couple of years, but as for now, I'm just going to say Nikola Jokic wins another MVP, and it might even put him in the top 10 greatest of all time, to be honest, because he can win another championship and an MVP. I think he just automatically goes into that top 10 of all time. And the Nuggets, they're on a roll too. They've won 8 in a row, and they could easily, not easily, but they could still honestly go to the West. I think they'll go to the Western Conference Finals and maybe even to a chip. I don't know. You'll just have to wait and see in the video. But I'm going to go Nikola Jokic for my regular season MVP for 2025. Moving on now to the Defensive Player of the Year. Now, this one is kind of obvious. I feel like you just have to go Wemby, but there are quite a few candidates around him that are coming through, particularly some young guys. So, you know, you've got the likes of Evan Mobley, even Anthony Davis, even though he's injured, and I don't think he is going better. I think he's slightly going better defensively than offensively, but I think he's having more of an offensive season improvely than defensive, because I feel like last year was probably better defensively. There are a few other guys I could think of that I am looking at on the list now. So obviously you've got Lou Dort. He's a really good defensive player, along with the Thunder's defense. He's been really helping it. But yeah, those are the main ones that I can probably think of. There are obviously some more guys there that I could probably think of, you know, some tall guys, but I think I am going to go Wemby for the Defensive Player of the Year. I feel like he's probably going to win it at least 4 times, let's be honest. The guy's 7'2". He's just too good. And yeah, he's averaging quite a few blocks per game. And yeah, he's getting quite a few steals as well. And he's a good offensive player as well. So I honestly think that he'll probably win heaps of MVPs, and I do think that he will be the Defensive Player of the Year in just his second season in the NBA. But yeah, it's probably going to be really hard to score against when you're up against Wemby, so it's just got to be Wemby for the Defensive Player of the Year. He's been averaging 3.8 blocks and 1.1 steals per game. So I feel like you do just have to give it to him. He's already leading the NBA in blocks. He's leading pretty much everyone in just, you know, defensive plays. So I think, yeah, Wemby. moving on to a different award where there are quite a few more contenders. I am, of course, talking about the Rookie of the Year award. Now, there are quite a few candidates here that I feel like have an even chance of winning it. So we'll start off with probably the player that is in the lead now that I'd say is Stephon Castle for the San Antonio Spurs. You know, he's been really good in his first season. Some other guys like Jalen Wells, Zach Edey, the two guys that play for Memphis that have been going good. Possibly Dalton Knecht, but I don't think he can win it. There are some other guys like Rissa Shea. We also can't leave Alex Sy out of the talks, although I do think it is between three players. Probably Stephon Castle, Zach Edey, or I'd probably also say Jalen Wells. Now, as for I think who will win the defensive... I'm sorry, not the defensive player. So, as for who I think will win it, well, I am going to again go with kind of the favourite right now, Stephon Castle. This guy's just been amazing in his first year. It's really hard just not to go with him. Like, he's been averaging crazy points in his first years. He's honestly playing really well alongside Victor Wembanyama. His stats have been, for this season, he's been averaging 12.9 points, 2.8 rebounds and 3.5 assists. So, yeah, look, and he's been shooting at 42% from field goal percentage. So, I just think he has to win it at this point. Although, I don't know, I'd probably choose him as my favourite. I feel like I said that too confidently because Zach Edey, Jalen Wells, and really anyone else could probably win it. You know, even Yasamu, that guy. I feel like he has also a pretty good chance of winning it, but I just have to go with Stephon Castle, man. I love watching this guy's highlights. I think him playing along Wemby is just such a great fit for the San Antonio Spurs moving forward in their rebuild. Or what? Not really their rebuild now. They are contending, obviously, now that they've got De'Aaron Fox. So I just think he has to win it from here. So now we'll do my finals matchup, but we'll do it by a little process of elimination going through my Western Conference and Eastern Conference finals. So I'll reveal my top three, and two of those teams will make it through. So, as the 1 seed, I do have OKC. As the 2 seed, I have Memphis, and as Denver as the 3 seed, which is currently the current standings right now. But I'm going to say Memphis fall out. They don't make it to the conference finals. I just don't know. I can't trust them. My Lakers a couple years ago eliminated them. They've been in the playoffs like, I don't know, maybe 3 times out of the last 4 years. They've never been able to seem to get it done. And even though against my Lakers they did have injuries, they were pretty poor in those final series, losing in 6. So I'm going to say that it's going to be a Denver versus OKC matchup in the Western Conference Finals. Now, I'm going to say that the Denver Nuggets are going to move through to the finals for the NBA 2025. OKC fans are going to hate me if they're watching, but I think it will go to a Game 7. Look, the Thunder, I just think they're still a bit young. I know they have the best record of the NBA. They sit first in the West, but I'm just not sure. They really choked against Dallas last year, and I think it's going to happen again before they actually can move through to the finals. I never seem to be that high on OKC in the finals, but they just always suffer under pressure, I feel like. And I'm going to go with Denver to move through. It's a controversial position, but it would kind of just make the video a little more interesting. So I'm going to say Denver eliminate OKC, and they're going through to this finals, even though I do hate them. Moving on to my Eastern Conference Finals now, I'm going to have the Cavs and the Boston Celtics, the 1 and the 2 seed, going at it to try and get in the finals. Now, as a Lakers fan who hates Boston, I'll try not to be biased, but I'm going to go the Cavs to beat the Celtics in 6 games. I think it should be a good finals matchup if we do get it. And I think they will move through to the finals. So that is my finals matchup. Denver versus Cleveland. And we'll do the winners in a minute. But look, the Celtics being the champions, I don't know. They just haven't been looking that good. In the last month, they haven't been going that well. But I do think they will at least go through to the Western Conference Finals. I think that, you know, you've got likes of Indiana, New York, maybe even Orlando, who are kind of struggling. Maybe even Detroit could make a little run. So they're probably going to make the playoffs. But I just think that the Celtics and the Cavs are too dominant. I think the Celtics will get there, but they will lose to the Cavs in 6. Now, Thunder fans, again, will be looking at me like, why? We're basically the same as the Cavs. I just think the Cavs have more pieces. Evan Mobley, you know, they've got Donovan Mitchell, they've got Darius Garland, those 3. Now that they've also made that trade too, that's really going to help them improve. I just think they'll go through the finals, sneaking through, and they'll face Denver. So there is my finals matchup, Denver versus Cleveland. Now, who's going to win the championship? Who's going to take it home? Well, game one, we're going to say that the Denver Nuggets do win game one. And in game two, I'll go Cleveland to fight back. Game three, I'm going to go Cleveland again to take a 2-1 series lead. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Game four, Denver win it. Game five, Denver wins. Game six, Denver win. I know, I'm predicting the Denver Nuggets, who have had such a poor start to the season, to win the championship. As a Lakers fan who absolutely hates the Nuggets, I've ruled past the number one seed in the East. I've ruled past the number one seed in the West. I feel like this video has been a bit boring, so I've gone for all the favorites for the awards. So I'm going to switch it up and say the Denver Nuggets win the championship. I just feel like Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic just need to win another chip. Now, this could be recency bias because of their great form, but I honestly think if they continue this, they can achieve anything. And I think they probably will get to the finals, to be honest with you. And I do think they will eliminate the Cavs. The Cavs choking, well, not choking, but they had a 2-1 lead. They lose their last 3 games. Just think they're kind of like OKC, a little bit young, and unfortunately for Donovan Mitchell, we can't win their first championship. But those are my stupid predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments, who your favourites are to win the chip and all the awards for the rest of the season, and we'll see you in the next video.